A lot of you might have watched our previous video where I said I was not going to use vitamin C for 2024. It's just always given me a hard time in that I always get some sort of dermatitis where it's like this mild rash from the acidity. And a lot of you surprisingly also shared the same feeling. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna share with you guys today my brightening routine without using vitamin C. And let me tell you, it is doing wonders. Also guys, if you want brightened skin, it really does start at the gut as well, because the gut will determine how clear our skin is. And if it looks clear and even, then your skin will naturally look brighter and clearer. So this is red Korean ginseng, like the best of the best. So if it's good for my health, beauty from within. Starting with my depuffing tip. So sometimes I wake up and my eyes are puffy, my face is puffy, my nose looks like it's a marshmallow, and that's just the way it is because during our sleep we get fluid retention. So some people might look a little bit puffier than others, but we all generally have this kind of like bloated effect. So here are my 3 tips. First of all, you can start off with a cooling eye patch. And what I mean by cooling is that you can just put your eye patches in the fridge and that will kind of help the eye area kind of start to settle down. The second thing you can do is just use a teaspoon and press it onto the under eye area gently, and that cooling effect once again from the metal will help to constrict the blood vessels and just like help this area calm down. Those are for the eyes. And then for the face, I highly recommend a face roller before we get started, and this will just move the fluid, the blood through the face and down kind of the lymph nodes, which will help with slimming down the face in the morning. You can just do this for like a minute, and it like actually kind of hurts sometimes, especially if the muscles are really tight or I'm extra bloated. But then afterwards, oh my god, I feel like my face can actually move. It's insane. You guys have to try this. Also, other things to keep in mind is your face will be extra bloated if you eat high sodium meals. If you know that's something that you do, you can just try to reduce some of that sodium in your meals, and then you might look a little bit slimmer when you wake up. Now, let's move on to Kaitan. I still have been bringing and using this Peach and Lily Glass Skin Face Polisher religiously, especially with my travels. I brought it to Paris with me. I brought it basically everywhere, and it's still going strong. There's a lot of it. So specifically with brightening, there are fruit enzymes in here. So there's papaya, a little bit of BHA, and there's rice exfoliants. So what you do is add a little bit of water, and then you emulsify it, and it becomes these really fine micro bubbles, and then you just work it into the face. And I feel like this cleanser just gives me the perfect daily exfoliation where it just kind of melts and dissolves away the dead skin that could be causing dullness as opposed to brightness. So it is very good. Second step is toner. You guys know that toner is an essential in my skincare routine. So I want to mention the 2 that I brought and I've been using. I love it so much. This is the Glow Recipe Cloudberry Bright Essence Toner. It's actually very watery, and guys, it smells divine. It is so, oh my god. Why? So the star ingredient of this is the cloudberry, and cloudberry is this really unique little like kumquat looking tangerine, but it's like miniature, and it's naturally got vitamin C and vitamin E in it with some other great and brightening vitamins. But what they also formulated this with, which I love so much, is that it's got rice water as well as glycerin and oats and collagen. Guys, what more could you ask for? You press it in and it just melts and dissolves into your skin, leaving it supple. It's like so hydrated. So I've been loving this, and I feel like it's honestly helped my skin stay brightened in this harsh Australian sun. Now, I also want to mention fermentation. So this is the SK2 facial treatment essence. It's an oldie, it's an OG. This is actually the first high-end product that I ever used in my life because my mom gifted it to me like 10 years ago. Back when I first used this, I really didn't know what it was doing, and so I stopped using it because at the time I was really trying to treat my acne, and so this couldn't really like do its thing to refine the skin because I was battling something major in a different area of my skin. But now that I just purely want to focus on brightening, I feel like this is actually so great at refining the skin. When you see fermentation in any skincare product, you know that it's going to be super beneficial for your skin barrier, but also brightening effects and evening effects, and like it just magically creates this soft focus veil over your skin. And how it works is that in the fermentation process, so SK2's fermentation is known as Pitera, so that's what they're known for, but any sort of fermentation basically breaks down the ingredient into smaller particles, and in that process, it creates additional ingredients. So there's postbiotic ingredients that are being made, like lactic acid, and all of these actually help to dissolve that dead skin once again that's keeping our skin looking dull rather than bright. So then these extra byproducts that are created not only help with what it was marketed for, but it's anti-inflammatory, so it helps with acne, it helps gentle exfoliation, but nothing too crazy, so you don't even need to look for an exfoliation. And so I just feel like I have been loading up on these two hydrating products that my skin, I am so satisfied with it these days because of that. And I just want to mention also, at night I do use this guy, VT Riedel Shot. So I just did a whole video about this if you're curious. I brought the 100 with me to Australia. This is the first thing that I use at night after I wash my face, and then I go in with everything else. And this, oh my god, the VT, go watch that video right now. Game changing. I feel like this is actually what set my skin at a good foundation before I came over. Okay, so now what serum have I been using? During the day, it's the Super Egg Vitamin Collective, and then at night, I use the Quarterly Resveratrol Lift. So there's a relationship between vitamins and our skin for brightening effects, because our skin is very smart. It basically activates when it knows that it's either been damaged from the sun, and it creates something called melanin. And melanin is, you know, the pigment that gives our skin the color that it has, but melanin is also freckling, sun damage, melasma, and that's when the melanin goes into overdrive, and it can be triggered by things like the sun or dehydration. So in terms of when we're talking about brightening, that's what we don't want. We don't want our skin to overproduce melanin, otherwise we won't have this like fair, even skin, right? So what you want to counteract that with is feed it with vitamins. When you feed it with like vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin E, you're basically signaling to your skin, you're good, I'm helping you, like we're okay, you don't have to protect yourself. And so it won't produce overabundance of melanin, which will then keep our skin nice. So if you have freckling, if you have anything like that, load up on these antioxidants, because the antioxidants are vitamins and they will protect you so much so that you don't even have to use anything else. So in your serum step, you can look for alternative brightening ingredients. Alpha-arbutin, so good. Ferulic acid, so good. They're usually formulated with vitamin C, but you don't have to have it just alone. You can get alpha-arbutin from The Ordinary or even The Minimalist. They have great alpha-arbutin serums. My second favorite ingredient, if you ever see it for brightening, is licorice extract. If you see anything with licorice extract, it's almost anti-inflammatory and subtly brightening together. It's so good. I love licorice. And normally that has a little bit of niacinamide in it, which will help you kind of subtly even your skin. It's not going to be overly brightening, but it will even it. Another great ingredient is glutathione, and specifically the numbers in one, the 5+. Very nice. So those are my favorite alternatives for brightening ingredients. Moisturizer, I keep it pretty simple by this time. One is the Abib Jericho Rose Cream. I don't know why, I just love this consistency. It's like thick for a summer, I would say, because it's not a gel, but it's like this year-round moisturizer that I just love so much, and it just gives my skin what it needs in terms of a moisturizer. Highly recommend you try this. And then I also brought with me the Cocoa Kind Retinol Gel that I talked about in the video with Ro. I finally started using it. I've been using it every night since I popped it open, and it has been phenomenal. Oh my god, Cocoa Kind, chef's kiss. It's got a tri-retinoid complex. So what that means is that it's got gram-active retinoid as well as retinal and also retinol. So it's got the 3 variations of vitamin A. So I already knew that I loved gram-active retinoid because the Ordinary has the gram-active retinoid serum solution that I recommended to Ro to use, and she also loved it, so I knew I loved that. Retinol, I know I can handle very easily, and because the complex of this is only 0.1% of all 3 combination, I knew it was going to be very gentle, and it actually says here that it is a beginner's retinol gel. In the 2024 like skin goals, it was that video that I said I was going to start religiously using my retinols a little bit more because it can help with brightening your skin, evening your skin. It helps with acne to reduce the sebum secretion so that your pores don't get blocked, so it can control the oil. So it's basically doing everything. But the thing is, I only use this at night. You can use retinols during the day, but you know, you don't want to photosynthesize your skin if you're going out in the sun. So I'm just really cautious of sun, especially because I'm here in Australia. But you can see I use the Abib, and it just gives the most beautiful, supple finish. Oh my goodness. It's affordable and I love it, especially if you're back in New York or you guys are in the Northern Hemisphere that's currently going through a dry, dehydrated winter. Love. Let's zoom up. Do you see this? So good. And guys, it's like 35 degrees right now and I'm sweating as I'm filming this, but it still looks so nice. So is there any brightening tips for moisturizer? Like, not really, just find a moisturizer that you enjoy the texture of and the formula, because all the kind of brightening effects would have been done from the cleansing up to the serum steps of your routine. Then the best step of all for anti-aging, keeping your skin bright and even, is sunscreen, and I only brought this one because clearly it's my favorite. Talked about it in the best of 2023. It's the Numbers In Pure Waterful Calming Water Sunscreen. So this was like a no-brainer in my mind that I had to bring because of the heat here, but I was also using this in New York in the winter because it's like delicate veil of sunscreen, and it also is perfect because it has this really subtle cooling effect on the face. It is a chemical sunscreen, but it doesn't sting my eye. You can like layer this on and it's not going to be oily or greasy. I actually prefer this way more than the Beauty of Joseon, the rice and probiotic sunscreen, only because the texture is just a silky gel and it just instantly is one with your skin. It's like, so I would say for my combination oily skin that the Beauty of Joseon one is better for like winter months. This one is just an all-rounder, good for summer, good for fall, transitional months, and great for winter. So remember, down the neck and my ears. So for lips, we mustn't forget, I actually don't have a lip balm that has SPF in it, but I did bring this guy with me. This is the Good Light Taste of Space Lip Milk. And if you look at it, you'll understand the name. It actually is this like galactical white color, but then it just dissolves into your lip. Boom. It's not like overly conditioning, and I don't think people with like super dry lips are necessarily going to like enjoy the nourishment of this because it is more on the lower end of nourishment. But the effect that it gives me is that it's like you have nothing on your lips, but they're just perfectly nourished. And then the white goes away and it tastes, there's like raspberry extract or something in it. So I've been enjoying this. In general, if you have dry lips, I'm still a stickler for this guy. This is the Tokobo Vitaglaze lip mask. Brought it with me because I had to on the plane. It was literally a lifesaver. So that's that one there. So that, guys, is my routine for brightening while here in Australia, but really everywhere. Oh, underarm brightening. This actually has a little bit of BHA, I think. This is the Necessaire deodorant gel. So if you have dark underarms, we're talking about lightening and brightening everywhere, right? And I've been enjoying this one, but I do layer it with a antiperspirant because, as you guys know, I sweat. Well, you might not know, but I do sweat a lot. Let me end this video outside in the garden because me and my dad have been tracking the growth of watermelon. Ready to show us your watermelon? The jungle of watermelon. Okay, where's the biggest one? Go.
Nearly ready.
Wait, where? You have to
Nearly
move.
ready.
Whoa, ow! Wow, the leaves are actually spiky. I didn't know.
Quick.
Whoa!
Yeah, the peachy day. They grow so big. You see?
Another one! Oh my.
See, that's the second biggest one here.
Oh my god. We will be feasting watermelon. And what did you think they were?
And this one too. It's like
Before you realized it was watermelon? What was it?
pumpkin. Pumpkin leaf. Oh dear.
Protect the scalp.
More.